Hello friends, it's Allison Vanderslice and thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're going to be making a pocket fun fold card that I had sent out for Father's Day. Here I am showing you the time lapse of my sketch idea that I want to do for this card. The card bases are going to be those craft sheets that you see there. They are 5 by 7 inches. We're going to need a white or a cream matting layer and then some patterned paper. Now my patterned paper is double-sided, which we'll see in a little bit, and this is just going to add a little bit more fun to our card. If you don't have patterned paper, you can go ahead and create your own patterned paper using stamps or even coloring your own background. Here's the pattern paper that I'm using. It is a blue color on one side and then it has polka dots on the other side. I'm going to cut this piece down to 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. I'm also going to take my matting layer, which is this white piece, and this is going to be cut down to 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. This is just going to give us a border for everything. I will also do this with the second piece of pattern paper, which is a red and cream pattern. I'm just checking to see if I like the borders, and I realize I do need to trim off a little bit more just to give a little bit more dimension to the card. I really liked how this border turned out now. I'm going to just fold over the top left corner to make it look like a collar to see if I liked how it was going to look, and I did. So I'm going to go ahead and trim down the matte layer and the pattern paper for the second Father's Day card. Since both of the card fronts are cut, I'm going to go ahead and adhere them to the card base. I'm going to bring out my silicone craft sheet just in case I get any glue anywhere. It'll be easier to clean up and it will keep my workspace sticky free. After I put down the liquid glue, I'm going to adhere to the card front, and I'll do that for each of these cards. Since this is an interactive card and there's going to be some movement on the front of it, I wanted to use some tear tape because I know that it's a little bit stronger in my mind than the liquid glue. I don't know, for some reason I just foresee the liquid glue coming apart because I didn't get it all over the place. After I get it covering the back, I will remove the backing of the tear tape and then adhere it to the card front. And again, I'll do that with the second card as well. And here's what the card bases look like with the card fronts attached. We still have to make a pocket and then the inside message holder. We're going to go back in with those pattern papers and cut out 2 rectangles that are 3.5 by 3 inches. After we cut our pieces, we're going to score them so that way we can adhere and make a pocket on our card front. On the 3.5 inch side, we're going to score both sides 1/4 inch in. And then on one side of the 3-inch side, we are going to score it at 1/4 inch as well. So 3 sides will be 1/4 inch scored. And then the top side, the last 3-inch piece that we need to score, will be scored at 1/2 inch down. Now I'm going to come in with my scissors and just do a quick little trim of these corner pieces since we're going to be folding them over. And I'm giving these a little bit of an angle, as you can see there. So I'm not cutting directly on the line. I'm going to cut a little bit of an angle on each of these lines. After we get those corners cut out, we're going to take our bone folder and crease those edges. This is a really important step because it's going to make everything lie just a little bit flatter and nicer. I'm going to do this only on the 1/4 inch sides, and that will be going to the inside. So the plain pattern side will go towards the inside. The 1/2 inch piece, we're actually going to fold the other way so it makes a little bit more of a fun pocket for us. And there you can see that now with the 1/2 inch piece going out. It matches the collar. I really liked how this pattern paper worked out for me. I'm just going to take these glue dots from a paper pumpkin box and adhere those 1/4 inch pieces down at the bottom corner. I'm going to be brave and use liquid glue to adhere these to the card fronts. I'm going to make a very thin line on these 1/4 inch strips and then just adhere it where I think the pocket would go on the front of a shirt. I'm making sure that I press down hard on these to make sure that they stay, and I'm also going to be putting them underneath some books to make sure that they are adhered well. The inside cardstock that we're going to use in the pocket is going to measure to be 2¼ inches by 3 inches. To make sure that this doesn't get stuck going in and out, I'm going to round the corners with a corner rounder punch. I'm going to use just a little reminder that you are loved and the Versa Claire Morning Mist ink. I'm just going to stamp it off right quick on a scrap piece of paper to make sure that it's straight when I stamp it. It's good practice since I don't have the words on it and you can't see through it. After I'm comfortable with how it stamps, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it onto our little sentiment pull-out tab. Make sure that you're putting it lower down, but not too far down because you want a space to write and sign your name. You can also write on the back of this if you don't want to just have it on this little piece right here. Alright, this is what we have so far. We have our card base ready to go, and then we have our little pull-out interactive piece. I'm coming in with a small little hole punch here, and I will punch a hole in the top center of both of these pull-out cards. I'm then going to look through my embroidery thread and pick out a color that I think matches both cards. I pulled out a light cream, but then I went with a darker brown instead to help pull out that craft color better. I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of this brown thread, and I will use 2 pieces per card. Grabbing 2 pieces, I'm going to fold it in half, and where the loop is, going from the front of the card, I'm going to use my take your pick tool and push it through that small hole. You can use any fine point tool or any tool that you need to get these threads through. If you don't have thread, you can also use ribbon. And I'll do that same process. Fold it in half, take the loop, push it through, and then feed the extra thread through that loop. And then pull it tight. And there is our little pull tab. Just so they are aware that they have to pull this piece up, I'm going to take a little small stamp that says pull here, and with that same Versa Claire Morning Mist ink, I'm going to stamp this on the top right side next to the thread. This will just give them a reminder that they should pull up that little piece. Alright, let's take these little pieces and add them into our pockets. And there we have it. It slides in really nice and easy, and I think it helped that we rounded the corners. We still have a few final touches to do. I'm going to take some glue dots and put these down on the 1/2-inch flaps that we created on the pocket. Now, in hindsight, I will let you know that I did need to go in with some tear tape because these were not strong enough. Maybe if your pattern paper was a little bit thinner and lighter, it would have held for you, but it just didn't work for these. So I did go in with a different type of adhesive. For the collars, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to leave them just like that, but I decided against it and I wanted to add a little foam square to it. So I'm just going to remove the backing and adhere it down. I think that was a good touch instead of leaving it up. And there we have our pocket fun fold cards. You might actually even be able to make these as gift card holders as well if you want. Now, all I did was write my message on that little pull-out spot, but you can write it wherever you would like, on that, on the back of it, or even on the back of the card base. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you like my content, feel free to subscribe for more. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!